Mano buddha hamkara cittani naham nacha shutra juve nacha grana netre nacha vyoma bhumi na tejo na vayu chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham Shivoham, Shivoham. Today, the discussion will be discussing a very interesting point, the topic, what we actually get by practicing meditation, and in the process of meditation also, what are the benefits? But before that, what we have to practice. Just we are coming and sitting and closing our eyes and trying to control our mind, is that meditation? Or it's a long preparation. I remember once Swami Buddhananda ji, Buddha, he was in charge of our Delhi center. Before that, he was in Hollywood. And he wrote a beautiful book which I have translated into Bengali, The Mind and Its Control. So I was discussing about that with him, and I asked Swamiji, what do you mean by meditation? And he said, I am meditating now, but that time he was taking the stroll. And after that, he was supposed to go to Delhi University. So I told, but you were walking. He said, I am walking, but I am constantly thinking about those words which I am going to tell to the students today. So it's a sort of a meditation, it's a kind of meditation. But you have to prepare it whole day long, all through your life. And suddenly, if you are thinking that I will sit and control my mind, it is impossible. And that is why this Ashtanga Yoga, Ashta means 8, Anga means the parts, Yoga, 8 different parts, which we have already discussed last time. That is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan, then Samadhi. This Ashta, the 8. Then there the Patanjali is describing Yama. Yama, the first word, the Yama, the first quality that we have to develop is Ahimsa. Then Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. This 5 is called Yama. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya and Aparigraha. These 5 different qualities together is called Yama. Now when we read these, what is Ahimsa? There is a lot of confusion about the Ahimsa. In the Western world, this conception is almost absent. They talk it about love, because the Jesus said this thing through love. Love thy neighbor as thyself. And this Ahimsa, this Sanskrit word, it has been very highly practiced and propagated by the Buddhism. So they always talk about the Ahimsa. And of course the Jainism, Ahimsa. But what actually Ahimsa? Here it says Ahimsa sarvadha, sarvada, Sarvabhutanam anabhidroha. Sarvatha, in every condition, sarvada, every time, always. Sarvabhutanam, in all beings, anabhidroha, the absence from injury. Do not harm these people everywhere, every time, always. That practice is called ahimsa. This ahimsa is the key to get peace. Now, if we think that we should impose it on the society itself, it is impossible. And that will be totally impractical too. Society cannot practice ahimsa. But what this ahimsa then? To some extent, if the society, particularly the leaders of the society, the kings, the rulers, if they are thinking about ahimsa, then the peace can prevail in the human society. To some extent, I am telling, because it is very, very difficult. But when we are imposing it, trying to impose it on the whole humanity, on the whole society, that will be wrong. Then we can say that one of our leaders in the freedom fight, he was himself trying to practice ahimsa, and he was trying to impose it on the society. Again and again there were failures. And now people do not believe in it this. We have to understand the mind. Before that, we have to practice. But those who are trying to meditate, those who are trying to develop spiritual life, those who are thinking to get the ultimate of meditation, that is samadhi or God realization, for them it is must. This ahimsa is a must. This ahimsa means love for all. And how we can love all? That's why Swami Vivekananda, he is telling, the universal religion that may be if we practice Vedanta. Otherwise, my heart is reaching out and touching your heart. All these are words. And it is very good to say and very nice to listen, but not practical. There must be a philosophy. There must be a reason. Why should I have to practice ahimsa? Why should I not be angry with others? Why should I not criticize others? Because I see my own self in every being. That is Vedanta. This Vedanta only can give us this status, help us to practice ahimsa. That this ahimsa, it is a very, very important thing, and through that Atman, conception of Atman, that is within me and in every being. Ma Sharadamani Devi, she is telling, the Atman, the holiness, the God that you see within me is present in every being, including the animals. So that can give us the conception of ahimsa. In Buddhism they said ahimsa paramo dharma. Paramo means the highest. Dharma is religion. Highest religion is to practice ahimsa. But who can practice it? Not all. So this is the thing we have to understand. But again, I am repeating, those who are trying to get peace, happiness, develop the spiritual life, trying to realize God or the Brahman or the Atman, they must have to practice ahimsa. And after the ahimsa comes satya. This is also a very, very important word, again and again uttered by our scripture, our rishis, our spiritual leaders, the satya, truthfulness. What is that truthfulness? Here, Harihara Aranya says, Yatharthe Bang Manase Yatha Drishtam Yatha Anumitam Yatha Srutam Tatha Bang Manas Cheti. What you have seen, what you have heard, Yatha Drishtam Yatha Anumitam. The what you have conceived with the idea, and Srutam, what you have heard. Exactly depicting that, telling that. If you have read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, in many of the times, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is asking the person who was noting down his conversation, Sri Ma. He wanted to hide himself, so he never wrote his full name. Sri Ma. Ma means Mahendranath. So this Sri Ma, he noted it and he is writing it down. Sri Ramakrishna knew it, and sometimes he will ask him, the other day I was discussing about something, what did I say? Then the Sri Ma, who had a wonderful memory, photogenic memory, he could remember everything. And then he will say, you were telling these, immediately he will say, if there is a mistake, no, I never said that. I said in this way. And then he will also give the meaning. I meant it. The way you are trying to explain, that is not true. This way. And that is called that Satya. Whatever you have heard, you have thought, you have seen, you must express that as it is. Friends, if we really can practice this Satya, majority of the problem in the families will be over. In the society will be over. Because none of us, I am repeating the word, none of us can really tell what we see, what we hear, what we thought exactly in the same fashion. Why? Because always my ego, I, without my knowledge, superimpose something on that and then express in a different way. So this is the problem. So that is the reason here it says Bhava Samsiddhi in the Bhagavad Gita. It's a very, very important word. Bhava Samsiddhi. You must be very, very conscious about what you are thinking and what you are behaving or talking. So we say so many wonderful words, very sweet words, but we don't mean it. We are not thinking in that way. This should not be the attitude of the religious people. Politicians, business community, in the day-to-day life, it is necessary, you cannot help it. But for a spiritual life, this is very important. So, bhava, samsuddhi, in the word that has been used in the Bhagavad Gita. Your mind, and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in his very simple Bengali word, he said, Mon, muk, ak karo. Mon means the mind, muk means your tongue, your language, your expression, ak karo. It must be the same. Whatever you are thinking, that you must say. That is why when a person came and he was showing that he is a very religious person, Sri Ramakrishna could not talk to him. But when the Girish Ghosh came and he was uttering all abusive words, and then he was holding the bottle of that wine, he was intoxicated, Sri Ramakrishna accepted him. Because in Mon, Mok, Bhava Samsiddhi, and he was practicing Satya. So this Satya is very, very important. In the Kena Upanishad, and it says, Satyam Ayatanam. Ayatanam means the place. Ayatan is the place, the home. Home of whom? Of the Brahman. The Brahman lives where? In Satya. That's called Kena Upanishad. The truth is the abode of Brahman. Mundaka Upanishad said, Satyena labhya tapasa esha atma, esha, this, atma, the soul, can be achieved, can be realized just by practicing Satya. Satya vachan adinta parastri matri saman, aise hari na mili tulsi jhoot jaban. Tulsidas is giving the challenge to the people who really wants to realize God. Come and tell me, I am a liar. If you do not realize God, after practicing only these three things, the first is Satya Vachan, then humility, Adhinta, then control of the senses, Parastri, Matri Saman. Bas these three things, and nothing else. Thousands of people will be shouting, there is no God, there is no God, I do not believe in God. It's a fashion. We have nothing to say against this. But the thing is, if you are really scientific mind, really advanced, really modern, you must practice this. It's a challenge. And here we find that Mundaka Upanishad, it says, Satyena labbas tapasha esha atma. The Taittiriya Upanishad, it gives the definition of Brahman. How can we express Brahman? It is impossible. But the Taittiriya Upanishads trying to give the definition how? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. What is Brahman? The first thing is Satya. And then Jnanam, Anantam, this knowledge and infinite. And this Satya is eternal. This Satya is eternal, it never changes. Swami Vivekananda said, society has to pay tribute to the truth. Truth do not pay tribute to the society. Sometimes society may not believe what the prophets are telling. It doesn't matter at all. But ultimately the society will kneel down to the prophet. So it says that Shankaracharya, he is telling about Satya. What is that? Non-crookedness or Kautillam, Kutilata, crookedness. And then Bangmaya, through speech, Kaya and Nama. This body and mind, and also the thought should not be crooked. It must be plain, and that is called Satya. And sometimes when we try to say something about a person whom we do not like, we hide all his qualities, and then we always try to highlight all his faults. This is the practice in the society. It's the normal habit of the human being. Now, after going through all this, we realize why one of our senior Swamiji, we used to call him Bharat Maharaj. And suddenly he used to ask, this is there's a tradition in the Ramakrishna mission to go and offer pranam to the senior on the days of Mass Sthiti Puja, Thakur Sthiti Puja, like that. Even on the direct disciple Sthiti Puja, in the Belur Math, this is the practice that you have to. But Thakur Ma Swamiji, you must, to all the seniors, you must go and touch their feet. So naturally, we used to go to him because he was the manager of the Ramakrishna Math. He was very senior. And he used to use very, very limited words to say. So that was his speciality. We never heard him talking. We only heard him listening. Constantly, he will be looking at and listening to the people. But sometimes he used to ask question, we were brahmacharis, and 80 brahmacharis from training center. And you went, there was a 2-line queue, and two brahmacharis going and bowing down, and we knew that the moment you look at his face, if you had the eye contact, he may ask some questions. So we never looked at his face. We always touched his feet and as quickly as possible used to go side, and from there we used to enjoy what the others are going to happen. But it so happened, when we went and stood over there, and before offering our pranam, I think, if I can remember, he asked, that was the Holy Mother Sthiti Puja, and he asked what she is wearing. And he was pointing his finger towards the temple of Ma. What type of color shadi the mother is now with that decorated? Will you believe 80 of us? None could say. Why? When we observe something, we do not attach our attention, our mind. Thus, what is Swadhyaya? Swadhyaya is with total attentive mind when you are reading something. So that's why when you are traveling and then carrying a Gita, just lying down and we have finished Gita, we have finished Kathamrita, we have finished these and that, what else? Then ultimately you always say, go and read Mahabharata, it will never end. The Mahabharata is so big. So, chalo, theek. So, no, that is not the fun. The thing is, you have to be very, very attentive to understand. So, when you go to the shrine, are you really attentive? Not that way. So, here it says Satya. Satya means you must be very attentive to the words of your Guru, what he is telling. And then when you are attentive, automatically the words of your Guru will reveal the truth within your mind. The Satya means the exactly what is said. That is also should be revealed. That's why Sri Ramakrishna used to inquire. So this Akutilam, this Shankaracharya, he is telling Satya means, you always say that whatever I have seen I will tell, etc. This is a system in our law. Here perhaps they touch the Bible. In India they will be touching the Gita, etc. That way, whatever I am going to say, I will tell the truth. But then moment they take the hand off from the Gita, they will go on telling lies. Because they think that is the speciality, modernity, and that is the intelligent person putting all lies in such a way so that people will believe it. The newspaper, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna never could touch, because constantly they are writing all the false things, wrong things, which has never heard. If you read some of the Bengali newspaper, you will simply laugh. They will be describing the things in such a way as if they were present over there. Something happened in Pakistan, some people, ruthless people, they entered and killed the children, and the description that the paper is giving, as if the writer, the reporter, he was also lying down under the bench and observing how the children is behaving. So all Sahitya, as they call it. It's wonderful to read, but it's not the truth. But if they write the truth, people won't read. They won't be able to sell the newspaper. So they are taking this. But those who are practicing religion, for them, Satya. So second is Satya. First is Ahimsa, second is Satya. And thirds come Asteya. This Asteya, this from taking the things, we take so many things which we don't need unnecessarily. You go on receiving, taking. Now the President of India or the Prime Minister of the country, the President of a country, they go on getting gift. Do you know what they do? They cannot accept it. It goes to the store of that particular, and then afterwards the government, they will distribute or sell and get some money. It is not for their person, because as the president of that particular country or the head of that particular nation, they are receiving is a gift from the nation. Other people, for the nation it is coming. You cannot accept it. For us, we have already decorated the tree, and expecting the gift on 24th, inviting you again and again. Till 24th, we will close our eyes. On 25th morning, we will all come. What has come for me? And now, the thing is, we are going to get so many things. There's nothing wrong, but don't be attached to those things. When somebody is giving it, even after giving, he is attached or she is attached to the thing that they have given. Swamiji, I gave you one chadar, you are not wearing it. I told you, still you are remembering? I have forgotten which one you have given because I already distributed. So that way, our President Swamiji, other Swamijis, they receive so many things, but they distribute to others. So that way, when you are giving, you give only to satisfy your own mind. I am giving it to a holy person. That's all. And after that, what is happening? That holy person is not also accepting it, that this is mine, like that way. This is called asteya. It doesn't mean that we cannot and we should not. Those who are totally mendicant, for them it is all right. Those who are attached in the organization, they cannot do it. But how they can do it? This aparigraha, I am mistaking. This asteya means non-stealing, and aparigraha means accepting the gift. I just missed these words. Aparigraha, I am not going to accept mentally. Aparigraha. Because the moment you accept something from someone, then you have to give back or do something for that person, or the idea of good and bad, it comes. Oh, that person is good because he do like this. That person is not good because he never does like this. So this is the aparigraha. The one should be very, very careful. In the Chandogya Upanishad, we find the teacher of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. The Sri Krishna also in those days, that was the norm. The practice as a child, when he is 6 years old, should go to a guru, and up to 16 years he should be over there learning, whoever he may be. Either he may be a prince or maybe a very ordinary person's son. So Sri Krishna also went to Angirasha, and there the Angirasha, he taught him a yajna. What is that yajna? Danam, Arjamam, Ahimsa, Satya, Vachan, Iti. These are the yajna you must practice. These are the teaching. The first and foremost is dhanam. You should not feel the things belong to me. I cannot give it, I should not give it. So the first thing is dana. Whatever I have earned, I am ready to give it. This dhanam, arjavam. Arjavam means truthfulness. Ahimsa, as we were discussing. Then satyavachan again. The arjavam, the straightforwardness. Satyavachan, the truthfulness. Iti, these are the practices you should have. So the asteya means abstention from taking things and belonging to others by not telling him. So sometimes it happens when you go, so it things unnecessarily we pick up without informing that person. Oh, it doesn't matter, it is there, let me take it. Here we have seen this is very, very uncommon. The people are taking away things. I have seen in that small 2 rooms, people, they keep their bag or the coat or the shoes or the cap, and someone came over here, I don't know when, and perhaps he played the mridanga, the instrument, and he kept it, left it over there, forgot it is there. Maybe when he will come after next birth also, if he can remember, it will be there. People, no one is touching it. That is a very good thing. And the shoe and all, sometimes some people by mistake may put on somebody else, but they never steal. Why? Because people are well off in the society, economically, and mentally they are trained not to take all these things. The country like ours, Because of the poverty, people cannot maintain this. So that is the reason also, again, we have to understand, when you are trying to practice these high moral values, we must have to understand whether they are in a position to practice it or not. If they are not in that position, then what they will do? For the survival, sometimes they have to do. So that way, sometimes we criticize people, the thieves, but why he is? Now sometimes some people doing mistake, but why he is doing the mistake? So the morality doesn't mean that one person should be in the same category you have to see. No. That's why you will find in our society, the rules were very, very strict for the Brahmins. Why? The Brahmins are supposed to be ideals for the society. Brahmins were getting everything from the society, support from the society. So obviously, they should practice morality. So that is the reason. Here, this ahimsa, then satya, then asteya, then brahmacharya, aparigraha. So these are the yama. Yama, the word, is having 5 these qualities that we have to practice. Now it comes, when and how one will practice the yama. In the 31st aphorism, it says, Jati, Desha, Kala, Sumaya, Avachinna, Sarvabhauma, Mahabratam. Is the word is called Mahabrata, the great vows. Mostly in India we say, I have taken a vow, I have taken a brata. What is that? Monday I am not going to take food, or the brata. Brata they practice. Brata means the vow, I have taken that brata. And sometimes there is the practice. They will go to a holy place, and then they will sacrifice one fruit or something, mainly fruit, which they usually love very much, that they will give it to that place and they'll say, I am not going to eat it. Restraining. I love mango very much, but I am offering this mango to this God, and I am taking the vow all through my life, I will never eat mango. Just to control that mind. So that way only, so brata, this brata, Jati, Desha, Kala, Sumaya, Avachinna, Anavachinna, Sarvabhauma Mahabratam. The great vows is to practice yama without any reservation of jati. Now the yama means ahimsa is there. And some people will say, no, I only go and kill, hunt animals, but I never harm human being. I never harm anything else. I only harm the animals, and that too tiger, lion, that type of animals who are really harmful for the human society. I go and kill them. So is this ahimsa? No. The jati also, you cannot say like that. Then desha. I do not kill in a place like the holy place at the pilgrim center. There I do not kill. The Arunachal Pradesh, they are tribal people, and annual function, they have an annual function for 3 days. All the male, right from the 10 years old up to as maximum, they will go inside the jungle, they will stay inside the jungle, and they will kill as maximum animals as possible. And then after the 3 days they will come back, there will be a great feast. They will all bring that meat and they will eat that, and they will be dancing. So that is the tribal, that way they enjoy. And our ashrama was a very big ashrama. It is 200 acres of land, maximum jungle. I found all the children of the local king, they call king, they have come. One of them, he was our ex-student. So he, led by others, they all came. They respect us because most of them, they are our ex-students and they are studying like that. And then I met them. They were ready with the gun and the bow and arrow and many other things. Swami ji, ये जो function शुरू हो रहे हैं, bless us so that we can get lot of kills and all that. I told it's good, but you are going. But the thing is, where you are going to kill? Now here, inside the ashrama campus, because in the ashrama it's a big jungle and mostly the animals, they come and stay here. So we will get very easy. Then I told, see, this is a holy place. And you should not kill the animals or the birds, whoever have taken shelter within this place. Because they may be also feeling that this is a ashrama and we are not going to be killed by these people, harmed by these people. Now if you go, that is not good. They will misunderstand us. They will lose their faith on us. Please don't do it. So they, okay, they understood and they went away. They went to other places. But the thing is, the desha, this is the place, here I do not say anything wrong or utter any falsehood or harm anybody. But when I go out, I do. You should not. So you have to continue this practice everywhere. It should not be. So our Shastra, our scripture, these rishis are very intelligent. They understood. The moment they will say you should practice this, and immediately we will also find, oh, he asked us to do that. I am doing somewhere else, but not over here. What is wrong? In our country, people, because on the particular day of a great leader of our country, on that particular day, they will all over the country, it will be a dry day. People are not supposed to drink wine. And they say we are paying our respect to that particular person, so we are practicing the dry day, and see, we are so much respectful to. But is this the respect? Only one day they will practice, and then all through they will be drinking. So that is not the way one should practice. Anabachinna, continuous. So the desha means the place, and the kala, the time. I do not do any harm on 24th December. We are all very sober. And even sometimes when there is war, they'll say 24th December or something like that. Actually, both sides, they will agree, we are not going to fight. That is not yama. Those who are practicing yama, they cannot say like that. Samaya, that is also the purpose. I am going and killing in the name of God. Nowadays this has become a fashion, and previously also in the 11th and 12th century, in the name of God, in the name of religion, the people used to go and they named it as a religious war. Can that be war in the name of religion? Some people, they are thinking in that way. That is wrong. Whoever said may be. But when from the viewpoint of our religion is totally wrong. If you like to fight, go and fight. But don't take the name of religion. Don't think this is the purpose of religion. But no, not ever. Religion is ahimsa. So that we have to understand. Don't bring down the ideology for your own purpose. This we have to understand. So here, anabachinna, without break, and sarvabhauma, by everyone. Then comes the 32nd aphorism. It says shaucha, santosha, tapa, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanani, niyamaha. Only two words they use, yama and niyama, again and again. But the yama means the 5 qualities, and niyama again 5 qualities. Shaucha, santosha, tapa, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanani. If anyone is practicing these 10 qualities, he must realize God. He's a spiritual person. What is the shaucha? It's called purity. Ugly people, they are not bathing, they are not washing, and when they come in the temple, that's why in the temple we are very, very careful. You should not wear the shoe over here. I feel sorry when you are sitting over there without any shoe. It is so cold, yes, and you are putting your feet constantly over there for the whole hour. We are trying to get, if we get some money, we will purchase some carpet like this so that it will be comfortable. So, but we cannot allow the shoe to come inside. So, because this shaucha, impure people, when we give the initiation, we ask people, after bathing you come. Then one person asked, why? Just bathe so that you don't feel sleepy. So after the bathing you will feel fresh. And this type of shaucha is very, very essential. Then comes the santosha, containment. Again the Tulsidasa says, the gold and all other things, the possession of this world is nothing but the santosha dhana. If you have the containment, I am fine, I am happy, I am contented, and you are really happy because you are happy. That santosha dhana in every situation with all people. Swami Vivekananda once said to his brother disciple, I don't know whether I have realized God or not, but my mind has become so broad, I can even live with Shaitan, the devil. If there is someone devil, even with him I can live. That's called santosha. We don't feel any difficulty. We had a brother monk, this brahmachari, we just joined. And we were to be agitated for every little thing. Another brahmachari was there, he had the practice, he was thinking to learn music, his voice was very bad. But in the noon time when everybody is sleeping, at that time was his time to practice song. Everybody will be commenting, hey, we stop and all that. Only one brahmachari, he used to lie and sleep, taking rest. He was having no problem. Because the santosha. Then we asked, are you not agitated to say he is disturbing with this sound? He said, but we don't feel. I don't feel he is making any sound. One of our President Swamiji, he was in a hospital. Just outside that hospital, there was a very bad people. They used to live in the midnight. They will be fighting. They will be using abusive words. You know the Calcutta. And the Shebak, he used to say, Swamiji, we should go back to Belur Math. How can you sleep over here? Well, why? There's no problem for me. What has happened to you? And you are not, don't you hear those sounds? And they are using abusive language? Then he said, oh, you were listening to that. I don't listen. Santosha. You ask your mind not to listen to that. Santosha. Bhagavan Buddha went for begging. Then one person was going on abusing, criticizing him. Then after that, when he stopped, Buddha Dev asked, can I ask you a question? And what is that? And suppose the gift that you are trying to give me, I am not accepting. What will happen to those gifts? No, that gifts will remain with me if you don't accept. I am not accepting your words. So the containment, whatever you may say, I am not accepting. No disturbance. So this way, the shaucha and santosha. Then comes tapa. This containment, Bhagavad Gita in the 12th chapter, 18 and 19 sloka, that's beautifully it has explained. Shama shatrucha mitrecha tata man apumanayoho. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna went to Girish Chandra Ghosh, and then afterwards Girish Ghosh, he was like that only, very, very emotional. Suddenly, he became angry with Sri Ramakrishna, started criticizing him, abusing him, very filthy language. And all people and the devotees, they became so angry. But Sri Ramakrishna was not at all perturbed. And when he was coming back, he looked back and saw the Girish. All others, after reaching back to Dakshineshwar, when he was telling, you always go on talking about Girish and what Girish has done to you today, how he behaved. He said, you people only saw him behaving like that. You didn't see how he was lying down on the road itself to offer pranam to me. So that devotion, it is within his mind, but he is expressing his devotion in that way. So this is called samadarshitva, always very contented, even in that. And Girish Ghosh, when he was thinking, if the Sri Ramakrishna is not coming to my house, then I will consider myself really the very, very bad luck person. And that Sri Ramakrishna came and knocked at his door. So if you read these wonderful incidents that happened, the great master, it's the unique things. Here, the Sama Shatrauja Mitrecha, I won't read the whole thing. This is in the 12th chapter, 18 and 19, these two, the slokas. Then comes mortification, means tapa. What is that tapa? Again we find in the Bhagavad Gita, the 17th chapter, 14, 15, 16 slokas, Shariram tapa, then Bangmaya tapa, then Manasa tapa. I think we discussed once over here. Then Swadhyaya, study. I told the study means when you were reading a spiritual book, religious book, we must be totally concentrated and then we will read. Maybe 2 pages. No, it doesn't matter. But with all attention we should read. Then Ishvara Pranidhanani. What is that Ishvara Pranidhanani? That is called devotion to God, again in the Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 27th sloka. It says, Ishvara yat karoshi, yad asnashi, yad juhoshi, dadasi yat tapashyasi kaunteya, tat kurushya madarpanam. So that is the beauty. Whatever we are thinking, we are doing, we are taking, everything at the end of the day we are offering to God. So today I have done this. And this is the speciality of the Hinduism. You need not to come to temple. You need not to go to the shrines. But every moment, every time, if you are offering everything at the feet of God, that is the great devotion. Do not forget for any moment this God. Even when we are cooking, we are cleaning the floor, if we think that God will come over here, that's why I am cleaning this, then the perfection will come. When you are washing, we are all these things, constantly thinking of God, and that is called. The yama is the internal purity, and niyama the external purity, but both are also having external and internal. And 33rd sloka, aphorism, is a very practical. Now when we are going to practice this, what happens? When we are trying to practice ahimsa, all himsa, that thoughts will come. When you are trying to think these, other thoughts come. How we can? That is why the people, that Sri Ramakrishna and all others, they used to give diksha, initiation. Why? To counter these thoughts. When a person, yesterday I was giving the Skype class, and we were reading the Viveka again and again I was telling that this is a purely the path of knowledge. And in the path of knowledge, Guru only tell you this is the ideal, and you have to practice it. Atha bichara, constantly. That is up to you, you have to do. But for the devotees it is a very easy. Why? Because the Guru will give you the name of God. Just have faith. Why this word? Why that word? Don't bother about that. You will understand every meaning of it. But just have the faith and go on repeating that name constantly. What will happen? It will counter the other thoughts. The thoughts of the worldly things will be countered. No one can help you because there is a thought, is subtle within your mind. So who can help you? Yourself. How? By taking the name of God. In the yoga, they say, Bitarka badhane, when the opposite thoughts are coming, when you are practicing yoga, contrary thoughts have to be produced. Pratipaksha bhavanam, the opposite thoughts, no, he is so good, he is so gentle, he is so kind, he has done so many things. Suppose you are not like someone. Now, how to counter that? Immediately, if you start thinking, no, but he helped me, she helped me so many times, they are so good, so kind. Pratipaksha bhavanam. The opposite thought is coming and we are giving the positive thought, positive thought, positive thought. And that way, now the 34th, this is, it says, Bitarka, Himsadaya, Kritakarita, Anumodita, Lobha, Krodha, Moha, Purvaka, Mridu, Madhya, Atimatra, Dukkha, Ajnanan, Anantaphala iti, Pratipaksha bhavanam. Why should we do it? If we don't do it, then the result of it will be ananta. Eternally, we have to suffer for the result. That is why Ma Saradamani Devi said, don't find fault with others. And then, immediately she suggested Pratipaksha Bhavana. How to? Don't find fault with others doesn't mean I will close my eyes and don't look at any people. Wrong. Well, finding or looking at people, and sometimes I am liking, sometimes I am not liking, so many things it happen. It doesn't matter at all. So Pratipaksha Bhavana, when my thoughts are not supporting me, how I will counter? Mother first said, do not criticize others, find fault with others. Then Pratipaksha Bhavana, Jagot tomar apnar, the whole world belongs to you. So suppose he was my sister, he was my daughter, he was my, or he or she was mine own, then what happens to me? I am finding fault with some person and thinking that let him go to ruins and all, suffer. But suppose that person is my own, I cannot think like this. Immediately I will think how to help, how to go and tell that person that this will harm you. So Pratipaksha Bhavana means, so Bitarka, here it says, I will read from Swami Vivekananda, the very wonderful way he is explaining, to obstruct thoughts which are inimical to yoga, contrary thoughts should be brought. How? This is the way to practice the virtues that have been stated. All the virtues that have been stated. For instance, when a big wave of anger has come into the mind, how are we to control that? Just by rising an opposite wave. Think of love. Sometimes a mother is very angry with her husband, and while in that state the baby comes in and she kisses the baby, the old wave dies out and a new wave arises, love for the child. So Pratipaksha Bhavanam, when some anger is coming, immediately if we can think of the love. How? By thinking the quality of that person. Maybe these are her faults, his faults, but he is having so many qualities also. So this Pratipaksha Bhavanam. Then it says, Ahimsa pratisthayam tan sannidho Vairatyagaha. What happens actually? When we practice these, ahimsa particularly, what happens? After practicing ahimsa in a perfect way, one becomes perfect in practicing non-killing. All feel that way, cease to feel enmity in his presence. Bhagavan Buddha, when he was traveling, all cautioned him, the path that you are going to take, there is Angulimala, a person very cruel, and he kills people, robs them off, and then he cuts the finger to count how many people he has killed. It's so ruthless. Don't go in that Bhagavan Buddha way, because he was confident. And then what happened? That Angulimala, when he saw the Bhagavan Buddha, he was transformed and he became the Buddhist monk afterwards. And we find the same thing in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jagai Madhai, the people are so afraid of these two brothers. All sorts of nonsense they used to commit, they used to do. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the beginning he was angry, then afterwards they said, you should not be angry with them, because they hurt his friend, his brother. So then afterwards the Mahaprabhu blessed them, they became devotee. We find the same thing in Sri Ramakrishna, the Manmatha Gunda of Bagbazar, Calcutta. He came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna. We know the Gunda, the word Gunda means, is a very ruffian. And he was transformed. And very excellent way we can explain this aphorism from the life of Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda, when he was wandering in the India as a wandering monk, he was very, very hungry. For 2-3 days he could not get any food. So he was sitting under a tree. And suddenly he found that a tiger is approaching. You know what he was thinking? He was thinking, both of us are hungry. The tiger is also hungry, I am also hungry. I cannot eat tiger, but well, at least tiger, by eating me, can be satisfied. So he was inviting tiger, come and eat me. Be satisfied. At least my body will be useful for your service. Ahimsa. And the tiger, of course, turned and went away, and that was good. Otherwise, we would not have got that Swamiji. And second time it happened when one British lady and a British gentleman, Swamiji, these three, they were walking in Great Britain in one place. It was outskirts. And suddenly, you know that chivalry, the Britishers, they always talk about the chivalry. One should go and protect the women and the children, the weak people, the chivalry. The Britishers are very famous about the chivalry. But what this British gentleman did, when he saw the three were walking, then suddenly they saw the bull is charging, and terrible. And without hesitating, forgetting all the chivalry and all those things, this British gentleman climbed in a tree that was nearby, and the lady tried to run but fell on the street itself. Swami Vivekananda, he went and stood protecting the lady, so that if the bull come and charge, they will charge Swamiji first. So he went, and as was his, we can imagine, he placed both the hands on his chest, and he was looking at the bull. Bull was coming, running, rushing, and suddenly it stopped, turned and went away. Ahimsa. It's not, miracle means this. Even that ferocious bull, and that last moment, it stopped and went away. Then the gentleman came down and he was asking, Swamiji, when the bull was charging, it was so close to you, what was your thought? Swamiji always, he was very that way he used to cut jokes and make fun. He said, then I was calculating what is my weight and what is the force of that bull, and if he comes and charge me, how far I am, he is going to lift me and how far I am going. So that calculation, the mathematical calculation I was doing. So just making the joke, but ultimately it was that ahimsa. So when one is practicing ahimsa, then it happens like this. Then satya patisthayam. What is that satya? When a person is practicing satya, what happens? That we will discuss in my next class. Excellent example we will quote from the brother of Sri Ramakrishna. When the person is pratisthita, he is established in truth, what happens? Whatever they say, that happens. In the next class, we will discuss about it. Now let us chant this sloka. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam navasangatam naiva mukti nameya chidananda rupa shivoham 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 shivoham. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.